What is reality? When we react to painful situations, are we reacting to what really happened or something that we cooked up in our heads ourselves? Think of reality this way. So, Mary experienced a situation where her friend said really hurtful things to her. Now, the thing about every reality is that in addition to the situation that we experience, there is also something that made you experience it or something that would make it more likely to repeat itself again. Let's call this other event the cause. So Mary's first cause of this situation was I was to do something very important for her, but I forgot. The second cause was last night was rehearsal, so we did not sleep well. So most likely we all had lots of emotions on us. And thirdly, this friend that said hurtful things about Mary, the cause is that this lady is known to talk this way to other friends. So after Mary was exposed to this situation, she got very angry, which is normal. The only issue is that it was hard for her to let go of the anger. Why? So Mary went home and the image of the situation was brought to her mind. Notice I did not say that she was thinking about it. She was not actively generating thoughts about the situation. I said that it was brought to her almost as if she was in a daydream. This is a subconscious self or mind doing its work. This self has really caused problems in many people's lives and deprived them of living to their full potential. So what did Mary see in this image or thoughts that was brought to her? She saw herself being spoken harshly to. The next thing, the subconscious self threw in a memory of how Mary has always been nice to this person in the past. It's at this point that Mary began to generate her own thoughts. This lady had no right to do this to me. Now, it's at this point that Mary fell into the trap of her subconscious self. The next thing is that another image is now flashed into Mary's mind. She can now see her other classmates seeing her in a bad light because of the things that her friend said to her. Like, how in the world did Mary know what her classmates were thinking? People have their own problems, so perfection doesn't exist in humanity. Come on. So after all of this, the emotion plus became something more interesting. Emotion plus, thanks to the subconscious self. Now, the truth is that we are always under the influence of the subconscious self. And we need the subconscious self to navigate life smoothly. We need its algorithm for quick analysis, which is useful in our everyday life. So, using the emotion plus as a fuel, the new image that is brought to Mary by the subconscious self is a picture of an inconsiderate and wicked person who is out to tarnish my image. That's what Mary is seeing. Not only that, another image is now flashed by the subconscious self. She's now seeing people seeing her in a bad light. Now, at this point, Mary now actively generates her own thoughts. I should not be around this wicked person. Now, at this point, an urge or a desire has been awakened in Mary. The desire to do something bad to her friend. Now, this desire is flamed by an interplay between the conscious self and the subconscious self. And the result of all these images and thoughts put in Mary is an even greater emotion plus, or emotion pro max. So what Mary begins to experience is bitterness, resentment, and uncontrollable anger. So what started as something small, due to the cooking that happened in her head by the subconscious, she's now dealing with something really big and beyond her control. So what's the way forward? Mary needs to change the algorithm of her subconscious. Because if the situation happens again, Mary will definitely be triggered out of control and the emotions will prevent her from living her life to her full potential. Now, changing the subconscious algorithm is easier said than done, but it's doable. It takes practice. There are some activities or work in therapy that can make this change process much easier. The second and more easier approach is called journaling. This is simply writing down the situation in a particular format. Whenever you write things down, you are engaging the conscious self and you are reducing interference or influence from the subconscious self or subconscious mind. So the format. So first, you write down the situation that happened, what you observed. Then you write down the possible causes of the situation. By doing this, you're forced to make the situation closely resemble reality. That is what really happened. Lastly, you write down the thoughts or the images that the subconscious self brought to your mind. Now, you will know these thoughts because this is what is currently and has been currently flooding your mind. These thoughts will resemble things like she's wicked, she has no plan for me, or in other cases, the images or the thoughts could be, I am unlovable, I don't have what it takes to make friends, or I'm a failure. So when you're done writing down the subconscious thoughts and images, the last step is to write down evidence that supports these images and evidence that does not support the images brought to you. I personally like my patients to write down the evidence that does not support these images or thoughts, because we all know how the subconscious can be. So by doing this, you would have eliminated the bias from the subconscious self, and you'll see that those difficult emotions are less, and you will begin to heal faster. Now, it's important to mention that having help is much better than handling these emotions alone. If you'd like to know more about therapy or if it can help you and what forms are available, please reach out to me.